Hello everyone, welcome to another video, finally. I took a bit longer of a break than I wanted to take. It was actually an unintentional break, but I would like to apologize for my lack of uploads in the last few months. Hopefully the algorithm doesn't hate me too much. But yeah, I guess it was a few months ago now. A few months ago I asked you guys what kind of video you would like to see next. And there were a few options like my school build, Happy Home Paradise series, but the one that you guys voted most for was entrance ideas for different map layouts. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some Citycore entrance ideas that I've come up with. I made sure to include a few different map layouts, like I included one where resident services is really close to your airport and one that's like a medium distance away, and then some extra ideas for you guys. So I'm obviously not going to be resetting my island just for this video. However, I am going to be making a little fake resident services where they would approximately be on each of these maps, if that makes sense. So for this first one, I'm going to be placing resident services 5 blocks away from the airport. And for the fake resident services area, I'm going to be using this terracotta path to make a 10 by 12 rectangle. In place of the resident services building, we get a storage shed, and instead of the bulletin board, we get a retro bus station. Oh man, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been 2 months since I last played, and it's also been 2 months since I recorded this. Retro transportation stop, that's what it's called. Okay, first things first, we are gonna start off with the roads. Resident services being 5 blocks away from your airport leaves just enough spaces for a road, or at least for the ones that I'm using. By the way, you can find all of the codes that I've used on this island down in the description in the Google Docs link. So yeah, with the space that we have here, we can easily create a 3-wide road and have enough room to put sidewalks on each side. So my idea for this entrance was to create a road running horizontally below resident services and also have a road running up beside resident services. So I chose to do an entrance for one of the closest possible resident services placements, and also put resident services slightly off to the side because 1, I like a challenge, and 2, not everybody's resident services is lined up perfectly with their airport, so I wanted to create something that's easy to modify if you need to. Like, you could put this horizontal road on the other side of resident services. If your resident services is perfectly lined up, you just need to put the horizontal road. Plus you can add, remove, change anything that you don't like. I'm taking a quick break from the road to start decorating a little bit. As you can see, I put down a crosswalk here, and this will be my quote-unquote main entrance to resident services. I usually like to leave a 4-space gap in front of resident services, so I'm doing that, and on either side of that I am putting down some trees, as well as some crosswalk lights and a utility pole. I'm also placing some safety railings in the front just to make it feel a bit more separated from the road. I put down these flower boxes to see how they would look. I think they look really cute, but I prefer the fences, so just a little idea for you. Then I also tried placing a vending machine and a snack machine and a sauna heater on the other side. Little tip, an OG tip, is using sauna heaters as garbage cans, because if you turn it off and turn it around the other way, it looks like a garbage can with a bunch of crumpled up paper in it. So now I'm finishing up the other part of the road. It's pretty straightforward, so let's super speed through it. That was such a bad joke. My apologies, but I had to. I took the snack machine from the front and placed it over here, facing towards the resident services building. I put down some block fencing and put the safety railing back in its original spot. One thing that I always forget in all of my builds, including every single one in this video, are street lamps. I encourage you to use street lamps if you are building in a Citycore theme. I don't know why I always forget. I feel like it's a pretty important feature to have if you have a Citycore themed island. Yeah, this is my reminder to you if you're like me and forget. Don't forget about street lamps. This square area here is going to be for, take a guess, a bus stop. If my video doesn't include a bus stop in it, is it really a Casey Kuma video? I don't know, I love making bus stops. I think they're a great space filler, especially when you layer something behind it. This time I decided to put some simple panels with a chain link fence design on them behind the bus stop. And behind the simple panels on a second level, I'm going to be creating some apartments. I did make a mistake here. If you're trying to replicate this bus stop build, I recommend to place everything one space to the left, at least the apartments, because as you'll see in a second, I have a bare cliff showing like right beside the crosswalk, and I don't want to put something there to cover it up because it will cover up the paths that I have there. I mean, most people probably don't care, but I personally would rather have a whole space there so that I can place either a bookshelf or a wide display stand. Okay, now I am finishing up the road, for real this time, and then I'm going to be adding some finishing touches, some last decorations, some hedges along the front of the island, and adding in some more trees, and then we'll be done. Okay, I placed down the hedges, but then I changed my mind. So in place of the hedges, I'm going to be using safety railing. And with that, the first entrance build is done. This is a pretty simple entrance, but I think it's cute and very cozy, and also, in my opinion, this is a great use of the space or the lack of space that you would have with this map or one that's similar. I think my favorite part of this build has got to be this view right here in between the bus stop and the resident services area. Just looking down this road here, I feel like it would look really cool if you were to add some more, say, fake buildings or houses, or even an incline going up to a second level. You could also put a little roundabout at the end of this road that leads into more roads, kind of like what I did in front of my Able Sisters shop. Okay, now it is time to tear this all down and start on the next entrance. For this entrance, I wanted to do one for a map that has resident services, kind of like not too close but not too far away. So I'm going to use my resident services placement as an example for this one. We're starting off again with a horizontal road, but this time we've got lots of room for sidewalks, so I'm making a 3-wide sidewalk on each side. I put down a crosswalk that is directly in line with the airport, and again in the front of the island I'm placing down some safety railings. I'm placing some cherry blossom trees on either side of the airport path, if you will. And right behind the safety railing, I decided to put some hedges, some nice layering. This green area here is where I'm planning on putting a villager home. And this green area is where I'll be putting my house. You can, of course, put other things than a house here. You can put one of the shops, the museum, a second player's home, another villager home, or create a fake building. But yeah, I decided to put my house here. I have never had my house this close to the airport before, except maybe on my first ever island. I can't remember exactly how far away it was, but I actually have footage of my very first island. Like, I did a tour and I uploaded it to YouTube. It's privated, so like don't try to find it. But I have that and I might do a video reacting to it. Let me know if you want to see that. But yeah, anyway, after my first island, like, I've had like 5 since then, but yeah, on every island since then, I have placed my house like far away from the airport. I don't know why. So who knows, maybe I will like my house closer to the airport. It definitely seems more convenient, although we do have storage sheds now, but it might be convenient for those of you who like don't have enough Nook Miles and can't buy the 10,000 Nook Mile storage shed or whatever. It's so expensive. I'm not doing very well at commentary today. I apologize for that tangent. Thankfully it wasn't too long though. As you saw, I made a little vending machine area and I used those chain link fences again, along with hedges on a second level right behind them. This just adds to the illusion of the chain link fence. They make it look like there are actual bushes behind it. I placed Bones' house in the green area, and now I'm working on an apartment building. I forgot to say earlier, I actually made these apartment designs. They will be listed under my Nekuma creator code, which you can find in the Google Docs link in the description. This side of the build was looking kinda bare, so I decided to put a bus stop beside the apartments. I skipped forward to the next day to get Bones' house out of the way. Now I'm just finishing up the bus stop and also finishing up this little section of road here. Now here I thought I was done. I was starting to do like the final walkthrough of the build, but I realized that I hadn't finished the whole left section of the road and where it goes into a diagonal. So I go back to finish up the roads. This portion was kind of painful to edit. I've sped it up as much as I can so that you can still see what I'm doing. If you want to skip past this part, I don't blame you at all. I will have timestamps in the description. I decided to make this sidewalk here 3 wide instead of 1 wide, and that meant that I had to redo the whole diagonal piece, which kinda sucks, but I think it was worth it in the end. It just took such a long time. Okay, now we can move on to the area where I'll be putting my house. I'm gonna start by placing down some trees, and if you saw my little subtitle earlier, these green squares are where I wanted some trees to go. However, I did not take into account the cliff that's right here, so I obviously moved the trees over 1 space. I placed down my house and time traveled to the next day. I didn't like how this tree looked, so I moved it, and now I'm adding in the final details of this area. I am semi-finishing up the front of the island. I did not have enough safety railings on me and I was too lazy to order more, so I just placed the rest of the hedges. I'm also semi-finishing up this sidewalk here. I was very confused. I mustn't have downloaded that little corner code piece that I needed here. You can see me like going back and forth between all of my codes searching for it, but yeah, I just don't have it. Sorry. Now this little bit here was very experimental. I thought that I could make like a little pullout, maybe like a little parking area for the beach. It didn't turn out like exactly how I was hoping it would, but maybe it can serve as an idea for you guys if you have a bit of extra space. I'm like running out of everything for this build. I don't have any more fully grown cherry blossom trees, so these pink Game Boy designs that I'm putting down are where I would put trees if I had them. And with that, this entrance is done. I actually really like how this one turned out. I love the diagonal road. If you saw towards the beginning of the build, I had actually already put down a bit of it just to see how it would look, and seeing it all put together, yeah, I am definitely including it in my actual entrance build. And again, I tried to keep things pretty simple. You can change around, take out, or add anything that you want to, and of course, switch out the items, switch out all of the colors to match your theme. I was trying to move Panchetti for this shot, and I thought I would leave the clip in because it's kind of hilarious how hard of a time I had trying to get her out of the way. Like, she kept going back to this one spot to just stand there and sing. And this wasn't even a good shot anyway, so it wasn't really worth it. I don't know about you, but I do not want to look at the end of this road any longer, so let's move on to the next entrance. Okay, this is the final entrance build of the video. This is another one with a close resident services, this one being only 4 blocks away. This is going to be quite a small build, by the way. So my idea for this one was to make a small road or alleyway in front of the airport. I made it 3 wide with a 1 wide quote-unquote sidewalk. I'm going to be placing some trees and some fence items in front of resident services, and on the other side of each of these trees, I'm going to leave a 1 space gap to serve as entryways. Now I'm going to lightly decorate the area using some cherry blossom petals, a sauna heater, a vending machine, a utility pole, and a bicycle. Rather than extending the alleyway more, I decided to just close it all in using fences. I really like the look. Oh, bless you! One of my kitties just sneezed. Oh my goodness. Okay, but yeah, I really like how this looks, and I'm thinking I'll use this idea in my actual entrance build. And believe it or not, we're done! This was just an idea that I came up with last minute. I just wanted to give one more idea to those of you who have a closer resident services, mainly because I spent so much time on the second build in this video. I feel bad, I'm so sorry. One thing that I would have liked to add to this build are benches, but unfortunately I did not have any at the time. I don't have any more speed builds for this video, but I would like to share with you some of the entrances that I've made in the past. This is the entrance from my island, Kodama. I had made a fake airport outside of the real airport. Sounds kinda weird, but it also looks kinda weird. This was made pre 2.0. If I were to redo this with 2.0 items, I would replace the bookshelves with the small display stands and the bookshelves with the wide display stands. Next up is the one that you all know and love. The entrance for Nekuma. This one was also made pre 2.0, however 2.0 did come out while I was still working on this island, so you get to see the updated version. This has got to be my most favorite entrance that I've ever made. The new items really added so much character and life to it. I also love how much depth and how many layers this build has. Last but not least, we have the entrance of Honeydew. Like in Kodama's entrance, I made a fake airport building, but this time I used those 2.0 items that I talked about earlier, the wide display stand and the regular display stand, instead of the bunk beds and the bookshelves. I'll put the dream addresses of those 3 islands down in the description in case you'd like to check them out. Okay, so I think I have a new favorite villager. Let me introduce you to Bones. Bones is a sweet little pup with only 1, maybe 2 brain cells. He's got pink around his nose and on his paws. The eventual fading of the pink indicates that he has been running around and sniffing around in the cherry blossom petals. Plus, he has frequent zoomies. All pros, no cons, 10 out of 10, a very good boy. That'll do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you got lots of ideas and lots of inspiration for your entrance. Please let me know which entrance was your favorite down in the comments below. Also, if you create an entrance inspired by any of the builds in this video, I would love to see them. I'm most active on my Twitter, which is Kuma, so feel free to send me a message on there and show me your build or tag me in a post. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you want to. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, which will not be 2 months from now. Bye!